social media, to a degree, was inevitable because it's just an extension of how people communicate. They communicate with hieroglyphics, they communicate with paintings, they communicated with messages in a bottle. It all just became another form, and they combined everything. And like we've said this before in this podcast, and we'll say it again, we are the guinea pigs in this situation. Like Agent Orange. You know what I mean? They discovered it, and it was brilliant because, you could use it to kill mosquitoes in Vietnam. They didn't realize that it was giving them cancer. Because they just went all out with it. Like, well, this is a great thing.
Kids were bathing in it.
Yeah, asbestos was a good thing.
Yeah.
It was fireproof.
And then in the long run,
emphysema, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's true. Like you're saying, necessity means progress, but not necessarily all progress is good.
I'm not saying that it's regulated and we're doing it right.
You can't regulate it anyway.
No, I'm not saying that we're doing it right.
Yeah.
But it's that we're the space monkeys being shot off into space. We are, because we've literally watched this technology evolve in our lifespan.
Yeah.
The baby boomers don't have any idea what it is and can't handle it because it's past their cognitive functions, The kids under 20 have always had it. Because think about it, my first smartphone was 2009. Legit, 2009, man. So I've had smartphones for over 10 years. Literally, 10 years, man. You know what I mean? That's a third of my life.
Yeah.
I've had a smartphone. And I'm still, I'm not all hooked up on it. I'm pretty good with it. But can you imagine that? Imagine waking up from day dot of awareness and being able to use a smartphone.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm just saying, they don't know another way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the way it is.
Eventually, it'll get harnessed, and then there'll be something else.
You just have to wait and see until, a person who's always on it gets to the age of 60 or 70, and then you compare a person that's at the same age of 60 or 70 and see the massive differences between,
brain cells,
and the long-term effects of one person that was on it all the time and one that wasn't.
Well, I've actually got some interesting facts about the male.
Nice.
The male.
So, it says here, now there's another good thing about a smartphone is you can look up facts.
You can still look up facts before. Let's not forget
not
that.
as quick.
Well,
yeah, go find a dictionary or go find a world book and we'll track it down.
People used to put those on their shelves, Tim. They have a whole collection of them.
I've still got
and those
one.
were updated yearly.
You got to pay
You know
for
how much
them.
space they took? Okay, you know what?
Well, that shows the responsibility of knowledge.
You haven't read a book in years. No, hang on. Wait a second. Those war books, man, they took up an entire bookshelf.
Yeah.
They weighed a ton, right? And you'd read from them. Remember we covered it in one of the first podcasts? You'd read from them, but now you can replace them to the minute of updated information worldwide within seconds.
The only good thing about those is that you can use them as weapons, man. They're so heavy.
You use them to balance TVs and stuff, man. Well, you stood on them to get higher.
All right, so the first documented use of an organised courier service, right, for mail, was let's have a look. First known documented, proof of
Mail being delivered.
It was in Egypt.
Yep.
Where pharaohs used couriers for the diffusion of the decrees in the territory of the state. 2400 BC.
Yeah, that's about right.
2400 BC. So,
But the earliest surviving piece of mail is also in Egypt, dating at 255 BC.
Okay.
And then Persia, ancient Persia, kind of made it a bit more of a system,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then the Indians got on board, and then the Romans, and then the Chinese kind of.
okay, so you're talking about 250 years before BC. So we're in 218. So you're looking at about 2,500 to 2,500 years.
Yeah,
it took 2,500 years to go from a king sending minions out with tablets of his decrees to subjects.
Yep.
From that to, any idiot sending a dick pic through the internet. So to someone on the other side of the world.
I rest my case. There you go. You just confirmed what I'm talking about.
But think about it, yeah? It took that long for mail, right, to become systemized and not even systemized. It took that long for mail to become available to anyone. Didn't matter who you were. Doesn't matter who you are. There's no racism when it comes to mail.
Well,
right?
yeah.
No, it's not subject to financial,
Well, I was going to say, you're talking mail, but official documentation still comes through the mail. It doesn't come through emails or anything
Yeah,
like
but they're
that.
trying to phase it out. Do you know why? They're holding it out because of the older generation. They're saying, the older generation can't use phones, blah, 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 etc.
Yeah.
But the older generation are going. They're going to be around for another 10 years.
You know what pisses me off? Like, I like getting some stuff through the mail sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Because, like, it's in your hand. I hate it when it comes through my email and says you have to print this out. Ah!
Yeah.
Like, why? Well, send it to my house, man.
Well, you know what you can do? Like, if it's something that you get every year, like Rego or insurance or whatever, if it's still the same company or whatever, you can use the exact same barcode.
Yeah.
You don't need to reprint anything unless it's a brand new whatever.
Everything is online because it's just a form of convenience. It's quicker, it's cheaper, and it's secure. The point is, you'll get it. We have a copy of it. We know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's there electronically. You're not going to just lose it randomly. It's very rare. But you can, dude. I've had to go into the camera systems in my building so many times to review footage because people have broken into the mailboxes out front.
Oh yeah,
dude, straight out, just ripped stuff. Imagine if you had your passport in there or something, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
No, it's taken 2,500 years for mail to get to that point. You can look at anything, man. Look at availability of medical supplies. Yeah? Back in, I'm pretty sure in 2500 BC, they didn't have a chemist on the corner that anyone could go to.
Had a snake with venom.
Yeah, and only the kings and queens would have gotten
Take these
access to
fags twice a day for a week.
Before meals.
that. Jesus did not start healing the lepers for another 250 years, man.
That's right. So who was looking after him before that?
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's taken that long. Like, and, man, that's like throughout time. That's like anything, man. Like, education wasn't available to anyone. Education was available to the rich and the dignitaries. And so on and so on. And that's what I'm saying. It's all a matter of society's progression.
I get that. I understand
And
what
not
you're
even progression,
saying.
just evolution.
I get that what you're saying. I understand everything you've just said, but then they already know there's stuff coming out that already shows that this stuff, even though it's helping us get into contact with people much easier and, information's much more readily available, it's making us dumber. It's the known fact. There's so much evidence and information coming out. We're getting dumber and we're destroying our bodies for it.
Okay, I think, you know what, man? Like I said, we're the guinea pigs in this situation. I think that once we've run its course as far as that and we've figured out how it is, then, okay, do you know what it's like, man? It's like, what's it called? Heroin. Yeah? But the snake oil salesman, this guy just nodding. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking about his territory. It's like the snake oil salesman, of the 1800s. They used to sell heroin and, what was the other? Opium.
Yeah.
They'd sell opium as what's it called? Like a
pain release.
Well, that's what morphine is. Morphine
is heroin.
Yeah.
But if you went to a Chinese opium den in 1910, people were just snorting it openly, then they realised that this shit could kill you, so they had to scale it back and moderate it.
And the government got involved and said,
and made some money on it.
Yeah, look, we're going to make it illegal.
But that's
you
the
can
point.
make it legal, but we need to make some.
We were using opium and heroin as straight out medical, dude, there's heaps of stuff, man. If you look at some of the drugs that we've outlawed now, you go back 100 years and they were forms of medicine.
I've read up on some of this
So
shit.
have I, yeah.
Dude, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Junkies would have been like, I was born in the wrong time. Bullshit.
This stuff back in the day, and that's what I'm saying, man. I reckon that once they've run their course, they'll start figuring it out.
I wonder, though, what the junkie population would have been 100 years ago.
What do you mean? The local wino? Well,
Not the wino, the junkie. Would they be
what drugs were available in 1918?
No, but just because they say a lot of people that with drugs and that nowadays is because of social
back then you wouldn't have had some kind of guy smoking crack out of a pipe.
they're not able to cope with problems or social anxieties.
So you're saying drug addicts nowadays are more likely to be created because of social pressures?
Isn't that what the?
Are you talking about social pressure from
just not being able to cope with life or not being able
as
to
in
cope
mental
with
health.
mental
Like, you're talking about
health.
prescription drugs.
No, I'm talking about like junkies
just in
who
general,
drink,
okay, yeah.
crack,
Yeah. Crack.
That's like 20 years old, isn't
Crack,
it?
nah,
Meth
dude,
and all
this
your ice.
This
and all
guy's
that.
go-to is crack. My
Crack.
go-to smack.
Yeah.
It's just a smack, man.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like,
What a
your
crackhead.
drugs, you know, your drugs,
Yeah.
your legal stuff, like,
Yeah.
the stuff that gets you.
but that was like I'm saying, like it wouldn't have been prevalent back then. Like it was, you could just go buy heroin at like a pharmacy, which they called the
Well, look
drugstore.
it up. Why are we speculating on it, man? Just look it up. look at narcotics in 1918. We're talking circa World War One here. Dude, they were the Nazis were experimenting with speed on their
man,
prisoners of
yeah,
war.
fucking
right.
They were experimenting with speed and opiates to try and get them to elevate to another level. Like that great what were they called? The Uber Panzer.
Ubermacht, or is that what they call
Ubermacht.
it? Ubermacht or something
Super
like that.
War Machine.
Yeah, super.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like they were creating super soldiers using speed. This isn't a joke. This is for real, man.
Yeah, but like what I'm trying to get at is like back then it probably would have been more recreational. Like it's recreational now as well, but the hard stuff now that's basically destroying people's lives was more used for recreational. So I wonder, like I'm just saying, I wonder what it would be like the addiction rate back then compared to now. Obviously, there's no way.
Well, it says here in the 20s and 30s, it was like bad.
I was.
So it was saying here that the US had the US, which is the article, had a massive problem, obviously, with alcohol. That was like
Because then they
Prohibition,
brought in
right?
prohibition and they couldn't stop it.
yeah,
yeah.
it just like out of control. But they're saying, here we go. But alcohol was just one addictive substance. That's a narcotic too.
Yeah.
Opium was widely used before the 20th century, and its drawbacks were not recognised early. So cunts were just getting on it. They just thought, but it says here it was used for any pain or discomfort, for teething. So they were giving it to kids, man. The babies in there tripping balls, man.
That rub opium. It's collapsing.
The baby's smoking opium, kicking back, listening to Pearl Jam. You know what I mean?
Jimi Hendrix.
My bird have. The kids in there nodding.
Red House.
Oh, what a track. Dude, what a track.
Hendrix Red House. Kids is rubbing opium on his gums.
Cigarettes hanging out of the mouth.
Onesie just covered in vomit. Doesn't even cry anymore, man.
The kid's crying, give us some opium. It's fine.
Talking about stuff that was more like available or things that they did differently back then, I was reading up about this doctor who would do.
Sorry, I'm just picturing a baby in a
There you go.
onesie.
Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson, both known users. Presidents, dude.
Opium.
Dude.
Yeah.
Presidents. Were using, they were getting on it. But it was socially accepted.
Yeah, dude.
They didn't know the
George
harm.
Washington had African American slaves.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
2018 equivalent, contract employees.
Yep.
Seriously, they figured out a way to keep it going.
Yeah.
Just made it readily acceptable. They found a way for it to be accepted.
There was an article I actually saw on that today. It was about like how the cotton plantations, like telling the history about them.
Yeah.
Like they want to start.
What were you reading about cotton
I
plantations?
just came across it as an article. No, it was just
in your usual far right agenda.
How to-
right agenda.
How to start a cotton plantation.
How to start a cotton plantation and get away with it.
Get away with it.
No, it was just an article on Reddit. It was just-
Incognito on Google.
one of the threads I'm on for Reddit is just talking about news or whatever, and they want to start teaching the history about the plantations, but they're keeping it out of Washington because Washington, I think, had plantations. George Washington,
yeah,
They
he
had
was a slave owner.
So they want to tell the history about him, but they can't do it in Washington. They've got to do it outside of Washington.
Yeah.
To tell tourists and stuff. That's what it was about.
You know, with the whole Unite the Right movement last year, Charlottesville.
Oh yeah.
The big hoopla about it, like initially right after, like what they were protesting, was because they started removing all the statues of
Confederate generals.
Jack, what's his name, Lee.
Yeah,
General Lee.
Robert E. Lee, yeah.
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah? And because he was a slave owner, and the whole thing, and that's what the South have romanticised the whole Civil War. they see it as a form of whatever. But it's like, dudes, you were arguing because you wanted slaves, and the rest of the country didn't. So that's why you tried to secede from.
So they're just small community there. We're like,
right?
Yeah.
We've got our rights.
And, all the rednecks in America got all up in arms and teary-eyed, because... What are you looking at?
Because I want to bring out a point about that.
Oh, the Eureka Stockade?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, see what I mean?
That's what I mean.
I've got the German Imperial.
We're the Japanese Imperial. We're surrounded by imperialism here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like you're saying, that's what the war was about.
Yeah.
But even though that's what it's about, they don't identify as what the war was about. That's something that they identify themselves as, not sticking to being told what to do, or rebellion,
like the Eureka Stockade.
This flag here, that's all about rebellion against Australia.
Did you see the history behind the Eureka Stockade?
Yeah, but I'm just no. I didn't.
If you want to read into it, you can.
There was a revolt.
Yeah.
But they're like that now. People are saying, well, that shouldn't be allowed to be accessed because it's about a revolt against the country.
The difference is though the revolt against okay. Right now, we're trying to distinguish the difference between the
this is an identity for some people.
It is. What I'm saying is the Eureka Stockade represents it's usually a trade union identity, like a blue collar, don't get screwed over by the government sort of thing. The what's the American one called? I keep forgetting the name of it when I have to remember it. The Confederate flag.
Confederate flag.
Yeah. Right. That flag represents that whole thing, right? But the difference is that was about the right to keep slaves.
Yeah.
That's a human rights issue. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
And that's the problem with the rednecks. They've romanticized the whole Civil War as if it was some triumphant thing against the oppression of capitalism, when actually it was just a fight against you having to give up your slaves.
Well, I'll tell you what, we all have something to do with that flag.
Yeah,
because it's got the 5 stars. It's got the Southern Cross on there.
Yeah,
5 stars. That's on our flag right now.
Yeah.
So we haven't been too far removed from it. If you know what I mean.
No. Okay, what was my point about this? The hoopla of all that.
Opium.
No, I lost my train of thought. I was talking about Robert E. Lee getting torn down. Oh, I brought this up with my auntie the other day about Ned Kelly. Right? In America, they were literally starting to rip out Robert E. Lee statues because it was literally an icon for slavery. Yeah? And that was the end of slavery. Literally. Ned Kelly is revered as a national hero.
He's a criminal.
In Australia.
He's a fucking criminal.
The guy literally was a petty criminal who killed cops.
Yeah.
But he's seen as an icon. But that's the point. That's how twisted... dude, we would never get a Ned Kelly tat put on us.
Such is life.
But yeah, they play it off such is life. Dude, you're a career criminal who killed some cops.
Well, that's like you're saying. It's a romanticised bushranger.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's who
they do the same. They do the same thing in America with their their outlaws.
Yeah,
Billy the Kid,
Jesse James,
and all that. And
what's his name? Dillinger, and
it's actually cool to read up about.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
You can't look at it as in something to glorify.
No. And when people get Ned Kelly tattoos and shit like that, it's dude, you were saying, you do realise who he was, yeah? He wasn't he wasn't your local baker that just stood up against
it wasn't a rebellion against oppression. He was just a criminal.
He wanted money.
He was robbing, he was jacking people, and then killed a few cops when they tried to capture him. That's nothing to be nothing to romanticise. There's no silver lining there, mate. You wouldn't do the same now about any of the guys that get convicted and sentenced to death.
Because that chick came out a few years ago and said, I'm proud of who I am because her bloodline traced to Ned Kelly. Yeah. And it's I'm proud of who he was. He was a criminal that killed people, man.
Yeah.
Not just cops, just everybody.
Anyway, look, I think
dumbasses.
Going back to that whole 80s versus 90s versus post-Y2K. This is all tied into that, man.
See.
What? I'm just following the train of thought here.
Yeah, same.
I'm just saying it's a different ball game, man, because you got to think of the pluses and minuses in that. There's a whole... you can't just say it was better then. Because you'd be giving up a lot.
There's a lot of arguments to it.
The problem is that the outlining overall statement I'm trying to make is you can't say it was better then and it was worse now, because everything has a leaning inclination to everything else. It's all tied in as a form of not even progression, but just advancement. Whether it's good or bad, or it's unbridled, or moderated, or like it's a step in the wrong direction and la la la. It's all just advancement. It means we're all tooling shit. Like, does that make sense?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they look at it this way, yeah? They said that when video games first came out, right? They said that they were making people dumb. And like, this is a pointless pastime.
I got it. Yeah, all right. Did you? Yeah, go. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But video games don't make people dumb.
No. In the contrary, yeah.
It doesn't.
No,
it gives you sharper response times.
Hand-eye coordination, motor skills.
Yeah, communicating.
Reaction time, yeah.
But all in moderation. That's the whole thing.
Well, exactly. Did you see that story
kid?
on
That
60
kid?
Minutes
Yeah,
on
that
Sunday?
kid, yeah.
Oh, that was doing my head in.
I was going to bring
that
it up.
was the worst
Man.
editing I've ever seen.
You know what? 60 Minutes has lost credibility a
And of all
lot.
people, too. I'm like, who's this a
Dude.
kidnapper? Who's shit at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I read about that in the hour before I got here tonight, so I didn't watch the actual 60 minutes
I watched
thing.
it.
I
as
only
it was
watched a
on.
bit of it, but it pissed me off. I'm like, man, you guys are like, I'm not even a gamer.
Oh.
And I was like, what are they on about?
The thing is,
Okay,
what
wait,
they, yeah, all right.
give someone repeat the story.
Johnny,
for context.
because he saw it all. So
Yeah, I saw it after like the first 2 minutes, but I watched the whole
This is
thing.
his turf now.
Yeah, this is
mate,
Johnny.
This is you know what we were talking about on the way. This is
Mr. D, you have the floor.
Have you ever bought a game that wasn't quite right?
So I missed the first couple of minutes, but they're talking about the addiction and the negative effects it's having on kids growing up and how it destroys their brains. With the woman who's doing the story is the one who tried to kidnap those two
Overseas.
kids from Lebanon.
Yeah. And they
Who,
arrested her.
who should be doing time in Lebanon at the moment, but somehow she got off.
Money talks.
Yeah, exactly.
Money, they paid the...
Absolutely.
They
Yeah,
paid it. Get out.
Absolutely.
And pretty much they had two kids, I think, two boys. Mum.
Okay. I'll tell you what I read, yeah?
Yeah.
This is what I read.
Mid-story. Let me tell you what I read.
No, go on, and I'm going to find the source I had.
Did you see most of it, or just
I
bits
saw
and
bits and pieces of it because I was like, I just don't like 60 Minutes anymore. It's
Yeah.
just fucked. It's
Okay, just to so we know, we're
The two
aware,
boys, yeah.
Is this the woman in Sydney? And she has
She's
a
the
kid-
blonde one.
I don't know. She has a kid with gaming addiction.
yeah.
There were two boys. One who hadn't been to school in 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's the fault of a video game.
Yeah.
Not the fault of the parents who don't get off your ass, pull them by the ear, get changed and go to school.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't cope with school. When I get here, I get nervous. Oh, you poor little thing. Like you think I wanted to go to school when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You think I had a choice?
We had no choices, man.
Nah.
This is what I was...
Like one of the kids, like I understand he goes, the mother was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
And so he retreated into video games to cope with it.
Okay, I know.
All right.
Yeah, but you can't
You
just
don't
use an excuse.
Yeah.
No, it's
the
not.
kid's like 12. Like, get off your ass now. Your mum's better.
What do you mean he hasn't been to school in 2 years? That's fucked.
Then
Kid's
another
14.
kid was like, "Oh, I want my parents to take it away from me," but then the parents are saying, "Oh, I think that was the same kid.
Tantrums and shit.
No, and then another kid, the first kid that they were showing, he had been to school in total. I think it was 3 weeks, the entire school year.
Fuck.
But that wasn't consecutive days. It was like 3 weeks for the entire year, like days breaking up here and there. And he's just sitting there playing Fortnite. But the thing that absolutely chafed balls was that every game that they were playing was the exact same stock footage of Fortnite, no matter whether it was a 12-year-old kid or 20-something-year-old guys in an internet cafe were playing Fortnite at a net cafe.
Hey, it's the same.
You really think they're playing that,
Yeah.
20-something-year-old guys in a net cafe are going to be playing that.
Counter-Strike.
It's CS, man.
People don't care. That's just media. That's called lazy media
That's
reporting.
sensation. What do they call it?
Sensational.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they were doing. Then they had the balls to have some psychiatrist where I want to see credentials. I'm serious. She's coming out and she's saying, "Oh, not only do we know it has a negative effect on children and this and that and all this crap," she's saying it's platosis or whatever the word is, started with P, and it's basically the death of the brain. All right, because when you're born, you got so many brain cells, and because you're not using them, they start to die. All right, I'm repeating it if people have heard it, but too bad.
Yeah, that's right.
And she goes, "We know that it has negative effects, this and that." And like, where are these studies you've found?
Yeah.
There is not one study or anything that even ties what you're saying to exactly that.
You know what's funny though? Everyone skipped over the fact, like not us, like talking about it, but like 60 Minutes and all that, skipped over the fact the kid's not going to school.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's social services?
Exactly.
You
Like,
know
this
what I mean?
is the parents' fault. And then they say, oh, it's easy to judge the parents. No crap, man. Look at these kids. Like, these are 12, 13-year-old kids. Not even, like, 11, between 10 and 13.
Yeah.
I don't know. I missed the ages.
Yeah. No,
But
it was like 14 and...
the kid, oh, I don't want to go to school. I don't feel well. And?
You don't feel well? Okay, you can stay home.
Go to school with the flu, man.
You know what?
Influenza.
You know what? You don't feel well? That's fine. You're staying in bed. I'm taking your game away
Exactly.
from you, mate. I'm sorry.
Why do these kids have TVs in their room? Why they got consoles in their room? These are children.
Bring back communism! I told you guys!
You realise I haven't said anything for like 4
No.
minutes. This guy's just going off.
Oh,
Thank
mate,
God.
don't-
You know what, man? Thank God it's someone else going nuts, not me.
Oh, no, like I
I
said,
knew
mate.
this was going to trigger you.
Oh,
No. Do you know why, man? This is what
Triggered.
pisses me off. I saw that article, right? And it was about, the woman's copping backlash now because
Yeah.
she's a shit mum,
yeah.
basically. That's what
yeah,
the backlash
well,
is.
I don't care whether or not you're sick or not, man.
Yeah.
Rear your child.
No, shit mum. Not sick mum. Shit
Because
mum.
she was sick, she had
Yeah.
cancer, all right?
Yeah.
Well,
And I was saying, I read the article, right, just briefly, and he basically says, kid's 14, hasn't gone to school in 2 years, only leaves his room to take a dump and have meals. Mate, I remember when I was a kid, I got Paperboy on Master System. Paperboy.
Yeah.
And I was rapt to get it because I
Ripper
saw
game.
it. Dude, I used to see it in American movies. And when I found it, I'm like, oh my God. I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. Like, I wouldn't have been more than that. I remember getting up early on a Sunday morning, man, crept into the living room, set up the Master System, tuned the TV, 6 in the morning, man, to play Paperboy silently.
Yeah.
Dude, I got in like half an hour or something. The old man like literally kicks down his bedroom door to come
You're making
out.
too much noise.
And
I can hear your fingers.
Dude, not the fact that I was making noise, the fact that I was awake playing this thing, man.
Yeah.
He's literally like just ripped it out of the wall or whatever. So go to bed.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like he lost his mind.
Yeah.
Lost his mind.
You just sulk back to the bedroom and fucking...
Dude, literally.
Yeah, it's just, like, it is. It comes down to the parenting. I don't care. Like they can
yes.
say it's easy to judge, but it is. Look at what you're doing.
Yes, she could have been... She's sick. There's, whatever. My mum was sick when I was 14. I still went to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't...
But
I can see that it's easy to withdraw because the fact is it is an escapism
Absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
But dude,
And
I
that's-
escaped in the same thing.
Yeah,
I
it's easy
understand
to
what you're saying.
escape, because it's another world. You don't have to deal with real life. I get
right.
that. But at a certain point, you do have to deal with real
Kid
life.
is 14.
Yeah. At that age, man, he should be, like, wanting to get out there. Like, they say, kids never want to go out. They don't want to exercise. They don't want to do whatever.
He actually said, he goes, in one part, he goes, I actually miss having friends.
Yeah.
But it's like the addiction has gripped him. He's 14. I'm sure they can break it out of him.
Yeah, of course. And
Take the console away.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, like these,
Dude, literally.
yeah. And then the tantrums. Yeah.
Let him
and
have a,
so what?
Let him
Break
have a
it.
fucking
Destroy
tantrum.
it.
You can't hit him, so just let him suck all he wants.
Yeah. Let him have a tantrum.
Then, like, one of them was
Like
actually
drugs, addiction.
Yeah.
It'll withdraw.
Yeah. They actually, like, they showed the dad of one of the boys sitting. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see
sitting
this.
there, and he's like, "All right, so you can play when you get home for half an hour. It was like a schedule. You can play for half an hour, then you have to do your homework, and then we have dinner. You do your chores, and then you can play from 7 till 10.
No, mate. You come home, you do your fucking homework.
7 till 10.
3 hours.
3 hours, and that's like him negotiating with him, like, this is restrictive to you.
And this,
I'm like-
this goes back to exactly what I was saying, dude. That is crap parenting.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's not the video game's fault. That's crap parenting.
And then, not only that, I'm not a big fan of Fortnite. I don't like Battle Royale games.
no,
I'm not a big fan of the game.
Yeah.
But the fact it was made the scapegoat because that game at the moment is
It's
like
the peak.
notorious. Like, it's 150 million plays in the world at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
the biggest game.
Dude, I've got
it's
like
blowing
Tottenham
up.
Hotspur, man. Some of the boys are posting shit on Instagram.
Yeah, it's
and all
like
that
it's,
bullshit.
it's massive. Like, it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. But the fact
massive
that
game.
it was made the scapegoat and it was just the same stock footage every single shot of the guy just running there, smashing like a car, moving into the next room and smashing it.
Yeah,
and
but
that
you
was
know what?
it.
60 Minutes have lost all credibility.
Oh, of course.
Because they've had pedophiles in their ranks,
Yeah.
kidnappers.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
done. It's
Dude, Trump had come out a couple months after the
when the shooting.
yeah, the Stoneman Douglas High School.
Yeah.
When
They try to find links between video games and
he's
aggressive
come out,
behaviour.
this is what Trump said. He's like, we have to look at the internet because a lot of bad things are happening to young kids and young minds, and their minds are being formed, and we have to do something about maybe what they're seeing and how they're seeing it, and also video games. I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence on video games is really shaping young people's thoughts. And then you go the further step, and that's the movies. You see these movies, they're so violent, and yet a kid is able to see the movie if sex isn't involved, but killing is involved.
Yeah.
Dude, look,
Yeah.
dude, the studies have proven there is no link.
Yeah.
None of the shooters.
Well, because he got in with a whole bunch of developers in a meeting in the White House, did a meeting, blasted them, whatever. They had stock footage, footage of games that he was showing to these developers. This is violent. This is, like, what are we going to do about it?
ban guns.
After that meeting, that was it. You didn't hear anything about it because there was nowhere to go. He couldn't do anything. There was no proof, no evidence of any link whatsoever. It's like, it's your culture, it's the people, the individuals' fault.
Absolutely.
How about you look at your mental health issues in America? How about you look at your gun control problems? How about you make guns as readily available?
This was the point. Sorry, man.
That's all right.
The one about the Madden shooting.
This is the point I was going to make. Yeah.
Yeah.
The study. It's not about the video game itself. Number one, the video games come with an 18 plus sticker.
Exactly.
Meaning no child is meant to be playing it.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, you can go to Kmart and buy a semi-automatic rifle in America. And they're pushing, Trump's whole agenda was, in order to combat school shootings, we need to train teachers with guns, and then we need even minors with guns to some degree. Like, taking the guns away was not an option.
Yeah.
And it's video games that are destroying children's lives, yeah? The statistics will show the biggest video game audience in the world is Japan. 60% of the gaming audience is in Japan. Yeah? Up to 6% of the fucking game, is there.
When do you hear about
how many shootings in Japan? Maybe one a year. Maybe. And that's like a big maybe.
But that's because the kid's just flipped. He hasn't
No, it's not even a kid. That's just someone
Or a
being
teacher.
killed. That's just someone being killed by a gun.
The fact is, it's the biggest industry in the world at the moment. It's bigger than movies, bigger than music, bigger than porn, bigger than Bollywood. Like, it's the biggest industry in the world. All right? And yet, whether you're one side or the other, they're both demonising it. Whether you're left or right, whatever, it's a scapegoat for every problem in the world at the moment. All right?
Yeah.
Because they don't know it's something new. It's the newest form of art. All right? People don't call it up, but it's a form of art.
It's storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interactive storytelling.
Exactly. And so they don't know how to deal with it, so it's made the scapegoat always. Now, because it's the biggest industry, all right, any person that goes on a shooting, regardless, like, you could go to anybody's house and 90% you're going to find a console in there, or
Dude,
a
it could be on
PC.
their phone.
It could be on their phone, exactly.
iPad.
So if a person goes on a rampage, kills people, they might not have a console, but they got a phone. They look on their phone. They got video games on it. So did what's that game?
What game?
Candy Crush. So that guy went on a rampage because he was an owner of Candy Crush, and it made him go insane. And now he's gone to kill people.
For the next level.
He couldn't get 60 million points for level 300.
Yeah.
Like,
But dude, that's the whole point. Yeah, video games might bring out aggressiveness in someone because they're just raging on a game, but that's called self-control and management.
yeah, but that usually ends with a destroyed control pad.
Yeah. That's to the point of that. It's like me watching Fast and Furious and then getting in my car and thinking I'm some freaking, Enzo Ferrari, owner and driving like a lunatic. Dude, everyone that watched Fast and Furious 8 would have gone into the car park and just, done a doughy, lost traction. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it, man. Why is it that I play GTA relentlessly when it came out? Relentlessly. I self-admit, when I was leaving for indoor because I was running late because I was playing GTA, and that's when I just put the Skyline as well. I got in my car and literally freaking bulleted it out like Dukes of Hazzard out of the building. And I was thumping it down, and I'm like, dude, I gotta calm down. I'm driving like a lunatic.
Yeah, but you don't go around like beating up hookers and killing them.
But I didn't get out of the car and punch someone up.
Yeah, don't do that anymore.
Was it Target or Kmart? Was it Target or Kmart that they stopped selling
Target for the hooker thing.
Yeah, they stopped selling GTA because of the hooker thing.
Oh,
All right?
that's the problem.
Because there was a petition that had like 1,000 signatures, so therefore that's the majority.
Yeah, 1,000 means we have to change legislation.
So then because of that, now you can't get that game there. Like, I'm not going to go to Target to buy GTA anyway.
I'm going to go to EB.
I wouldn't even go to EB. Like, it's my favourite place, but they'll always look to charge you full price. But who's buying which mother is going to Target to buy GTA for their kids?
Oh, this looks like a wholesome game.
Like, how dumb are you?
Yeah.
Like,
the cover.
You know how many, talking about EB, you know how many times I've been at EB and I'm standing there and the kid is trying to sell to the mum GTA? This kid is probably not, his balls haven't even dropped. He's 10, 9, 8, whatever.
Dude, and
11, 12.
He's going to get the controller.
It clearly says R rating.
Yeah.
It clearly says R.
I had a go at a family friend or someone, I can't remember who it was, but I remember that they had 2 kids under 12, like 10, 12. And she turned around, I was at their house and they were setting it up. I think I may have helped set up the TV or the PS. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, these games are really, pretty full on. Have you seen it? I go, dude, I own that game. Yeah, they're pretty nuts. And he's playing it. I go, that's your kid. That game has got I go, I'm an adult. Why is it? I go, yeah, but they complain and he says everyone's got it. So be an adult.
Yeah, be the better parent. Be the better parent.
Would a mother go and buy her adolescent child, a fucking full-blown hardcore porno?
No.
Would that mother go and do that? Then why are they buying these games for them?
Dude,
it's not the game's fault.
I played Rise of the Triad.
Yeah.
I played Wolfenstein 3D, which was violent. It was based about killing Nazis. I played violent video games when I was 10, 12. I played it in secret, in my bedroom, quietly, so no one would hear me playing it.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Dude, and it's just, like you said, it's another form of art.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Violence in media has existed since the violence in media and art has existed since the first conceptions of Jesus Christ in churches.
Yeah.
Crucifixions, beheadings.
Dude, the Bible,
But how come no one's protesting the Bible for that very thing?
You know what it is, man? These politicians and all these people, they've lost touch with reality and they haven't walked the streets.
Yeah.
They haven't seen what's going on in everyday society. It's not the games, man. It's just society in general.
It's the issues of society that just aren't being addressed.
And they're just handballing it and blaming fucking...
That's the point.
It's like,
Sorry.
No.
That was the point. Japan, 60% of the friggin' audience, no gun deaths per year.
No,
maybe one reported gun death. And the biggest audience, so you weigh it up, it's like, alright, dickhead, how can the place in the world where they play the most video games for the longest amount of time have no deaths and all the weapons in the world, yet your country, people are lopping themselves and you're going to try and blame guns? And it's the exact same equivalent, dude, of Dan Quayle and, who was the other clown back in the late 80s that tried to silence NWA and hip-hop music. They did it with NWA in the 80s and said this is spreading violence against police and la la la.
Nancy Reagan as well came out.
Yeah, Reagan did it. It just kept going.
Yeah. What did they say? They said they put the sticker on there.
Parental advisory.
And said it's the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Because their kids wanted it more.
Yeah. But, that was a form of art. Yeah. And that was talking about the
oppression, man.
Oppression of minorities in West LA, right?
Yeah.
South LA, sorry. And you look at that, and all the politicians, all the white Republican politicians like Reagan, like Bush, they all came out and said, this is terrible, we need to ban it, blah, 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 blah. When it was just art that no one had experienced yet, and no one took the time to understand. Dude, fast forward to 2011. They tried to ban Eminem from coming into the country because he had a chainsaw in his opening act of his appearance. It's like, dude, that's a character. That's a caricature. You have no problem with Tony Montana blowing people up because he represents a minority, and now we can address all Hispanic minorities as Tony Montana.
I can go buy a Scarface at Coles.
It's
got on DVD for $12.99.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, you haven't got a problem with any of the other caricatures in media or art, but it's just because someone's ruffled a few feathers, and now you think that you're just going to blame them for everything. Oh, it's this, it's that. It's like, dude, this is storytelling, you idiot.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point. It's always the same people. It's always idiot politicians trying to stamp authority on stuff they don't understand or are out of touch in. I'm not saying legalize all drugs. I'm not saying kids need to be playing, Fortnite. But dude, if the game has a sticker on it, it's meant for adults.
Exactly.
Like Nick said, you wouldn't buy a kid a hardcore porno and take him to Sexy Land.
No.
So why would you buy a game directed at the same audience?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, look, talking, like you're saying porn, all right? Like porn might be to the extreme.
Example.
But let's say a movie, an R-rated movie. Like Fight Club was on the other night, all right? That's rated R.
Yeah, it is.
Would you let your 10-year-old kid watch Fight Club?
No.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, that's not to that extreme of porn.
Yeah.
But a movie.
Yeah.
Fight Club. No. All right. So why would you let your kid play an R-rated game?
That's right.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
And that's these people haven't figured it out yet.
But that's exactly. Like, we're talking politicians. I'm talking parents as well.
Yeah.
Like, it all comes down to the parents.
Yeah.
Adults.
Yeah.
It's viewed as, the TV has been viewed as, well, that's the babysitter now.
Mm-hmm.
So get them whatever they want, shut them up, put them on the TV, and that's it. So, that's why, like everyone, your social media, all your stars, TV's raising your kids nowadays, and that's why you got problems.
Yeah. No, literally. Dude, 100%.
Not social media, but the morons on them.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I gotta find this.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. When we talk, like, when stuff like that, it becomes a scapegoat or becomes like that.
Well, it's
like,
unfair. It's unfair.
That's like, if I worked at EB, man, like, I don't care, I work here, but like, by law, I can't sell that to your kid.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm buying it.
I know you're going to be giving it to him. Yeah. It's like buying cigarettes for a kid.
Yeah.
You won't buy smokes for your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my 12-year-old come out and can you buy me a pack of Winnies?
Yeah.
Dude, are you going to buy your son smokes?
No. I'll smack him across the mouth.
See what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's exactly the same thing. That thing has got a sticker on it for a reason.
Yeah.
Dad, you want to go Harvey's on a gram? Like, what do you got?
Yeah. Like, games are, like we were saying, games are a form of escapism, all right? And so that's why people who play games get pissed when a narrative is trying to be intertwined in that, like we were talking about in the car.
Yeah.
I won't bring it up, but like what we were talking about, when they're trying to bring some sort of narrative in there, people aren't even thinking about that. They just want to play something to get over the day.
Yeah.
They're not worried about whether or not minorities are, like, they're not equally represented in a 12th century medieval game.
He was talking about a World War II game that's coming out. Yeah. And basically they're going all social justice warrior liberal on it, where Nazis, like it's World War II, right? So when you think of World War II, you think of Nazi Germany, you think
Allies,
of, blah, 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 right? And the swastika is not going to be appearing in the game.
Then what's the point of having the game?
Just make it any other era shooter.
Nah.
But then what's the point? It's a World War II game.
And not only that, they're also putting in women as just regular soldiers. And then they've got her dressed like she's out of the Matrix. What'd you say, with a hook for a hand?
She's got a hook for a hand, like a prosthetic hand, holding an assault rifle, so no issue there. She's dressed with, like, Comanche war paint, like blue war paint under her eyes. And then she's got, like, Fallout, like an aviator trench coat. From Fallout 4, like the Maxwell.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they didn't wear that in fucking World War II. Just saying.
Yeah, but they're advertising it as the most immersive World War II shooter of all time.
Well, no, it's not. Because they're not showing the real story of it.
Yeah, but they want to show that they're being gender biased and inclusive of all cultures.
Fuck yourself, man. Seriously.
It's as simple as that. People go, oh, but it's a game, who cares?
Like,
well, people wouldn't be buying a World War II game if they didn't want World War II.
Well, then don't base it on World War II then. Just base it on a generic war.
Exactly.
Just a generic war. Make up a war.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
They made this same company made a World War I game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There's female soldiers in it, but they play one specific class as a scout for the Russians, and that's the role that the female Russians played in World War I. Okay. Snipers. Yeah. So that's it. Nobody complained about that whatsoever. Nobody complained that there were black soldiers for Germany in World War I. Because they had black soldiers in World War I. They had lots of...
The Harlems.
Yeah. The Harlem Hellfighters for the Allies.
Yeah.
But, like, in World War I, Germany had black soldiers.
Yeah.
They even had Jewish soldiers.
Yeah.
All right? But in World War II, it's a different story.
Yeah, it was a different agenda. They got rid of all the black
There was female soldiers, but they were rebels. They were... What's the word?
What do we call them?
Insurgent.
No. What do we call them? We didn't call them rebels. We called... they were...
Freedom fighters?
No. We actually had the name... they were known as, like renegade battalions, man. Like,
Yeah, It was civilians, basically, and they created their own militia.
Well, guerrillas.
Guerrilla warfare.
It was guerrilla warfare, but they actually have a name. Not partisans.
Well, that's it. It was partisans. That's part of one of them. It was
Yeah.
like whatever. But the point is, like, well, you know, and then the dude that came out for the company said, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
All right.
And now the game has got record low pre-orders of all
Like
time.
85% lower than what they forecasted.
This guy's left the company as well. But he came out and said, like,
Jump ship.
his daughter, like, he uses it as an excuse. Oh, my daughter came out and said, I can play girls in Fortnite. How come I can't play as a girl in World War II?
Because there were no girls in World War II, unless you were Russian.
I can't.
Like, that's two different things.
Yeah.
Like, that's comparing bananas and orange, tomatoes.
All right. The thing I was going to bring up before was something Neil deGrasse Tyson said on Joe Rogan's podcast. Have you seen it? Have you seen the one he was on recently?
Not recently. I'm
was
actually
like a
going
week ago.
through his catalogue.
He said,
That's some good stuff.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said, the single most important event in mankind's history, in human civilization, the single most important event, now whether it was good or bad, but just the most important, was Christopher Columbus landing in the Americas.
Okay.
Yeah. Like literally the most important event ever. And the way he explained it, this was really cool, man. You guys would appreciate it. The way he explained it was, basically, you know, with tectonic movement and like the plates and then the ice age, the floods, the dry, like all that crap, yeah? Different areas of the earth were submerged, different areas were exposed, yada, yada, yada. Right before Columbus had moved over, the last shift, I think it was out of the ice age, yeah? So like everything melted, seas rose after the ice age. So basically, parts of land of Earth they were once landlocked and joined were now submerged in water, so they became isolated, right? So all the people coming out of Africa, they moved into Europe, they moved into Asia, Asia Minor, etc., all the way to South America, slowly, yeah? And all developed at different things. And then after the Ice Age, and everything flooded, society got cut off. So basically all the groups between the Americas and the rest of Asia, they all got cut off because of water, right? And Europe. So they all developed differently.
Yeah.
And as far as the gene pool, everyone was one class of people to a degree, but then once that point, for thousands of years, everyone in North and South America was of a completely different genetic makeup. Does that make sense? So then once Columbus moved over, like, 'cause he wasn't the first person to hit the Americas. Like, you had the Dutch, was it? The Norse, the Vikings?
Yeah, the Vikings, I think it was.
I can't remember what they were, yeah? I mean, it's disputed.
It was my people.
Yeah. he said the exploration
terrible,
parties.
man.
Yeah, Packard the terrible.
Packard the terrible,
a
man.
destroyer with a ram's head on the front, with a Metallica helmet on.
I was there. John the Soft was on a boat. Yeah. Just rammed him, sunk the ship, and took off.
I was there playing my lute. He got knocked off. That was the end of it.
Had to go there.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to work in your angle as well soon.
What angle? Yeah, you're an idiot.
There's always an angle.
Not your angle, but like I'm saying, he's the terrible, I'm the soft sword, and you're
He was
Rasputin,
calling
so
me
we're going to...
Rasputin before. When you saw me like a month ago, you said I looked like I was about to start reading out of a Quran.
He's legit Muhammad. Yeah. He's actually Muhammad.
No, 'cause I said, I go, come on, man, it's not that bad. It's like,
pretty
dude,
bad.
you look like you're about to start reading from a Quran. No. Dude, I was at a wedding on Saturday, and there were people that I hadn't seen in like a month or two, and they literally started calling me pater, or like priest.
Yeah.
The whole night. I'm sitting there drinking from like a bottle of shams, doing like Greek dancing, losing it, just getting loose, and he kept calling me priest every time he saw me. Like, you knock that off, man. I can't handle it. Anyway, so going back to Columbus, so basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but what Tyson said was that once Columbus landed, he brought with him a link to that part of the world that had been isolated for how many thousands of years, but was essentially the same gene pool from before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they'd split into two factions, but it was still old and new. So then with Columbus, he brought diseases, you know what I mean? Like, what was it? Like, smallpox, influenza, all that sort of stuff, which hadn't existed. I can't remember what it was. But then when he went back to Europe, he took with him as a syphilis. I think that came from the New World. I'm pretty sure.
He just would have been banging whatever.
Yeah, he brought syphilis with him, and like the animals and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it started flourishing again and started spreading all the way up the coast. and he argues that is literally the most single important event. Not that it was good or bad, but
Just as the event itself.
as a means of connecting the old world with the new world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A species of people. I thought that was insane. When you can boil it down to that in society's history. But dude, because like we've talked about that crap a lot, like the ability to control fire. I always said that's my favorite sort of thing. One of my favorite things. When man discovered how to control fire, everything changed. Cooking, life expectancy because you were not eating raw crap anymore. You were eating cooked food.
Yeah.
Venturing into dark areas, being out after dark.
That was definitely a game changer.
Yeah, that was.
Sure.
I reckon that was probably one of the biggest game changers. Whoever had fire had control of everything. Yeah. Because up until that point, the only time they saw fire was when lightning would strike,
And they'd be like, what the f...
or natural fires would start because of droughts or whatever. For me, that's like massive. And you look at, man, it's funny because you can tie in this whole information age now with the phones. That's a game changer. Like the smartphone being on the internet 24/7. Like we've talked about these heaps, man. But you think about a moment in your day when you're not connected to the internet and when you're not actively participating in some sort of mass distribution of information across the world. Like that's a game changer. Could you boil that down, like, as a single most important event in society? Like, at what point would you take it back to? The invention of Wi-Fi? The invention of the internet? Which one was bigger? Which one was of more importance? Like, think about, okay, there's a question.
Are we talking like as far as for phones?
Let's just say in our lifetime, yeah? I mean, we're in our 30s, so we've gone through childhood, adolescence, matured, through our 20s and sort of started getting experience in the world.
The greatest thing that you've seen?
What do you reckon is the biggest game changer in our lives?
Internet for me, man.
At what point, though?
Like,
as in just connecting, or
like as in connecting? Well, we were kids, the dial-up and stuff.
Yeah.
When that first kicked in, man, that was.
What do you remember?
Because you could still chat, Merc. You could still chat to people that you would never ever have chatted to before. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the lines of communication just opened, and kids lost it.
Okay, so hang on. We were on Merc in early. It was late 90s. So 98, 99, 99 probably. MSN Messenger.
Yes, Messenger.
Because I remember September 11, we were on Messenger in school.
Yeah.
So Messenger, Merc for me was big, like early 99, and then MSN Messenger and all that. I mean, that died out.
I
remember ICQ?
Yeah.
How did you chat on ICQ? Did you have to have a specific number, or could you search for someone?
No, I think you could search for someone.
Could you search for numbers? I've got no idea.
I don't know either.
I never had ICQ.
I'm trying to remember.
I remember it being like a Twitter, not a Twitter, but like an MSN Messenger, but you had a specific number. But I don't remember how you added people. Was that just word of mouth? As in, this is my mate's ICQ number, add him?
Pretty sure.
Was it mass communication? I don't remember. Because Merc was just like,
whatever. It had rooms.
Yeah.
So you go in there and be like, people from Clayton, people from Oakley, people from whatever.
You never used Merc, did you?
No.
All right. So that was just social networking. That was social networking.
That was before Facebook. That was before
you had your
everything.
handle.
Your old chat room.
You had your handle, your chat room. That was essentially...
Yeah, you'd be like Big Dick 69.
Yeah. That was social networking, right?
Yeah.
But you reckon that is the biggest, most important game changer in our generation?
I think internet itself, yeah.
So literally the ability to get online.
Because that,
But then how far back do
everything
you take
changed.
it? How far back
As
do you take it?
in my generation, though.
Yeah.
In our generation, like, when we first, because once you could get online, that just opened up fucking realms of, just exploded, man. Things just went nuts. Things went nuts. And if you didn't have the internet, you were looked down upon. So you're like, man, you got to get the internet.
Yeah, but you can say that about personal computers. When you got your first personal computer that you could get World Book on and games and all that sort of stuff, that changed everything.
Yeah.
You were no longer looking at World Books to get your information. You were going to CDs and...
Yeah, CD-ROM.
Yeah. I think probably the point would be when the Nokias were around. Remember the good old Nokias?
The first phones.
Yeah. Probably at that point. That's where...
5110s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's pretty
man.
much what's... I know there was
for it.
mobiles before that.
Yeah, there were. There was heaps of
But
phones.
that was the iconic point, probably, like that point. When those phones were around, that was the stepping stone to what came next.
That phone, man, that was an indicator of when phones became commercially viable.
This bad boy.
For civilians.
You can get them, but you can't get them here for some reason because it doesn't run on the network.
Yeah.
Really?
They don't
The
run
GSM.
They run on a 2G, I think.
Yeah.
And we're only
up
got
to 6 now?
No, we're on 3G. Do you know?
We're up to 3. We're past that, dude.
Yeah, but the starting point is 3
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So you can't get it. But I think they were saying they're going to do 5 or 6G, 5G, I think, next year or whatever. Well, I don't know. But
We're up to 4G now.
yeah, so 5 is going to be the next one. And they're saying that 5G is going to run faster than the NBN.
Dude, my phone already runs faster.
Yeah, same.
Than my
phone-
dial-up.
I've got-
my ADSL
Listen to
too.
this. I just renewed last week. Well, my contract was up.
Yeah.
And they've been busting my balls for the last 2 months. I just ignored the call. And I answered by accident. I just answered it thinking it was something else.
Who's playing Fortnite? Hello?
And I've got the unlimited data now because I don't want they're trying to sell me on the S9.
Okay.
I didn't want it. I got my S7. I'm happy with it. And they're like, all right, we'll put you on a 1-year plan. I had 10 gig of data before. Like, oh, we'll put you on more data now. I'm like, all right, how much? How about unlimited? Done.
What's it cost?
$60 a month. It's less. I'm paying $10 less
For more data.
for more data. And I go, look, I know unlimited data isn't really unlimited data. On my phone, there's the app that says how much I'm up to. I know it'll say like 50 gig used of. So what's that of bit that's going to come after it? It goes, well, it caps at 80 gig. But even after you hit 80 gig, the speed's just going to slow down. But you will still have unlimited data. You're not going to have to pay for nothing. You won't have to pay for extra.
How much slower?
Because, I don't know, he said less, but just,
Yeah, but
it's not going to be
80 gig.
like, yeah, 80 gig.
That's a lot on your phone, man.
Dude, I had 80 gig on my house plan as a gamer and as a serial downloader. I never went over it.
No.
Never even scratched it.
I'm 2 weeks into it already. I got 14 days left, and I've only used like 20 gig. And I'm using it for everything.
What,
Watching
even gaming?
videos. No, I haven't been playing any games because I got my...
Just
normal
run YouTube
landline.
24/7.
I am. I'm watching
Dude, using
YouTube,
your
all my
phone-
anime, all
using
my
your
streaming.
using your phone as a hotspot for your PlayStation.
I have. Now that, like, when I go away, it changes the game. It's a game changer when I go away.
It's true
That's the
because
single most important. Having unlimited data on his phone.
It is, like-
Says the man who said we didn't need the internet.
But that's for streaming movies. That's not for
but
cha-
I'm saying now you got options.
Yeah.
So does that mean when you go down to Rosebud, you're online now because you're playing?
No, I don't really bring it up there anymore. I got the Switch, so I just bring that with me.
Yeah.
I can't be stuff setting all this crap up.
See the laziness? Serial laziness. Dude, I made a remix the
So
other
now I
night.
can stream stuff. Let's watch some movies on Netflix.
Did
Bang,
you see
done.
Did you see the remix I put up on Insta like yesterday?
No.
Actually, yeah, you haven't been online. This guy's
I haven't
gone
been
missing.
online.
He's gone missing. I literally haven't spoken
He's
to him.
gone cold turkey
No.
on all forms of social media.
No. I did it. I
I haven't got time.
remix.
I haven't got time for social media.
I did a remix of T-Pain and LMA.
It's been nice.
Yeah, it is.
It is, huh?
Dude, it's
good.
great.
It's been good.
I did a remix and I put it up on just YouTube and all that sort of crap. And what's it called? This is how this is where serial laziness gets into because of technology. This is when I'll agree with you. Yeah, I was sitting on my couch.
Are you blaming me for something, or are you just saying it's
no,
true?
it's
I'm
an
saying,
agreement, isn't it?
Here's,
Oh,
here's
okay.
a
I
sign
thought it was
of
just
technology
another-
No.
making us lazy out of convenience.
Yeah.
Okay, think about it like this. Yeah. The remix in its not physical form, but as an MP3, exists on my studio computer, so in the other room. It exists on my iPod in my car, and that's it. It also exists on YouTube as a form of a stream, and I think that's it. That's the only forms of it. Yeah. I wanted to get it on my phone. Okay, I had two options to get it on my phone. Right? Look, this guy's smiling already. Why are you smiling?
I don't know.
You're a dog. All right, this is just me using knowledge in regards to editing and downloading that most people probably wouldn't have thought about because they just assumed you couldn't do it, yeah, or just wouldn't bother. All right, because this was my track. It's not on iTunes. It's not on that. It's just on YouTube because I put it there, right?
Yeah.
I thought, how am I going to get there? I'm on my couch. It's like 10:30 at night. I can't be bothered moving. Yeah, no, it was earlier than that because I went to bed at 9:30 last night. I was way earlier than that. I fell asleep earlier. I had 4 hours sleep, so it was earlier. It must have been about 6 o'clock. I was just sitting down thinking, shit, I need to get up and go to bed. I was just kept listening to this song on YouTube on my phone. I thought I want it on my phone so I can wake up to it in the morning and just have it. What do? Did a mental brain check. I'm like, okay, it's on my computer. I could go there, turn the computer on, plug the phone in, get that to work eventually because it's buggered, and then move the MP3. Okay. Or I could use an app on my phone to re-download it from YouTube and then convert it to an MP3. But that would take effort. That would me going in my head. I'm like, I would have to go into this stupid app. It's a third-party app, so it barely works. Then I've got to find it, got to search it, then I've got to download it, then I've got to convert it again.
This is my realm, yeah.
Dude, I sat there for like 10 minutes.
And in that 10 minminutes, you got to do it.
10 minutes, I was juggling it in my head. I'm like, I can't be bothered. Because my phone was dying as well. Because I got into bed and my phone was dying. Like, it was on 1%. It was dying. I'm like...
Charge your phone, man, 1%.
Because my charger's stuffed.
Get a new one.
I've got money. He's got money. Dude, I literally sat there and debated it. You know what I did? Nothing.
Nice.
That's it. I did nothing. I think I may have done it. I may have attempted to just as the phone was dying, and I'm not sure if it did save or not. I think it did.
And then you're like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to check my phone. I was wrecked, so I was sort of delirious by that point. There's an example of technology taking over. Do you know how many times I've sat there and downloaded a movie on my phone because I couldn't be bothered getting up, going to my laptop, my computer, and moving it?
Yeah.
No, literally.
In your room, the studio's right there. It's not like you live in like the Playboy mansion. You got to.
I got my PC in my room, and because it's on its not that it's on its last legs, but it's starting to show its age.
Yeah.
It's 5 years old now. It was a beast when I bought it, and
5 years and it's out of date, man.
It was out of date. It was out of date.
We're done.
Out of 2 years,
I'm finished, man.
Yeah, after 2 years, it was already out of
I
date.
expired a while ago. I had a best before.
This guy had a best before today.
Now,
Shelf life.
now Red has to put up with me.
Shelf life 27.5 years.
That's it, man. I'm done. I'm 7 years past.
Oh, you want to talk about laziness? With the PC, I started getting an update saying, you know, time to do a checkup on your Windows version. See if it's genuine Windows.
I started getting them as well, man.
And I'm like, I can't be stuffed clicking on the link to go online to do the check. So I actually spent the time. I went on YouTube, how to disable Windows genuine check.
So, meanwhile, you could have just gone on there and just clicked the button.
I'm like, no, I'm not risking it.
Oh,
so I went on there and I disabled it, and now I don't get it anymore.
See, back in the day, you would have jumped straight onto your computer.
But you know what? I don't know if that's my paranoia that's popping in about internet. Someone's trying to, you know,
hack in or
not hack in, but it's some sort of like what?
You're old, man.
What is it?
Actually, you're the oldest one out of us here.
Yeah,
you're a month older than he is.
Yeah,
literally a month.
Now listen to your elders.
Hey, you're an org. You're an org.
You've been saying it to me since grade 6.
It's true. Don't deny it, man.
This guy, listen to your elders, Tim. We're 3-4 months apart, man. Literally 4 months. Listen to your elders.
And I've learnt more in those 4 months.
Fuck off.
That's it.
I was just going to say, I have one thing. I have one thing before we wrap. I don't know what time you guys want to wrap. Because, fuck, I've been up since 3.
I gotta go to Coles.
Dude, I've been up since 3. I've just got one question.
I've done alright for
Dude, I've got one question. I've been meaning to ask you guys this for freaking months.
Hit me like a Sandboy chip, mate.
I forgot to bring it up the last time this guy was on, which was, when was the last time? A month?
5 weeks?
4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Laziness. Nah, he's been doing renos. I'll give you shit.
Naked with the paintbrush.
Have you been doing renos? Has the family been doing renos?
I've had to do them all. They've all got like borderline Parkinson's, man.
So
they don't have it, but you know, like
yeah. So you have to.
All right. Yeah.
They could be making what's the stuff? Your pavlova. That's what they could be making instead.
Pav.
Yeah, from the shapes.
I'll paint the wall. Just make me some food.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's been pretty much.
Good trade off.
I could never be a painter though. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, I've got swiped with what 3-4 strokes
on the last day. On the last day. On the last
forearms, like fucking.
Oh man, it killed me all here.
Yeah,
all here, the muscles in the
head. Can you imagine the old wogs did it for like 50 years, man?
Dude, you're a concreter.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago.
My grandfather in Greece was an orphan, and he was like on the streets. He was a street kid, and then he started painting. Someone took him in and showed him a trade at 12 years old. My grandfather retired at 70. You're painting for like 58 years, dude. You did it for 1.5 years.
It's falling apart.
I did it for a week, 5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah,
On the
but
5th day, I was just
Yeah,
sitting
you know
there
what
like,
though? Those motherfuckers, their hands
Yeah.
are rock hard, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
I've got
solid.
the black
I
lung pop.
go through like 10 bricks.
Oh, dude.
All right, Zoolander. Seriously, you're fucked. No, dude, this is an honest question. This is an honest question.
Okay, yeah.
I was confused. As you're not confused, but I was curious. Right? What do we call, when they talk about, say, Russia, yeah? Like the country Russia, what do we refer to Russia as? As in if someone's, especially if it's a patriot describing Russia. As in,
not Russian.
let's say going back to, no, you don't have to be Russian. We say it in English. It's an English word. We're going back to,
Motherland.
yeah, the motherland,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The motherland.
What do we call Germany?
Fatherland.
Right. How do we get that distinction between fatherland and motherland?
It's a farce.
I don't know.
Papa.
Oh, Papa.
No, I'm being honest. I thought about it. It really.
Maybe the Russians wanted to call it fatherland. They saw the Germans had it. Like, oh, we'll go motherland. I don't know.
East and West.
Why do we call it Mother Nature?
That's what I'm saying.
Why do we call it Father Time?
That's what I'm saying. They always depict Father Time as like an old man.
Yeah.
Looks like Santa Claus,
Just
right?
ready to take your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Mother Nature came from Demeter, who was a Greek god.
Yeah.
She was a protector of the earth,
Yeah.
right? Which in turn came from Demetrius.
nature's meant to be beauty and...
Yeah, right. Demeter was the goddess of the earth, so I'm guessing that's where Mother Nature comes from. I don't know why we get Father Time from Father Time. Maybe it's just a...
Go, quick look, keep talking.
Yeah. But I was curious, man, because we all know Mother Russia, or the motherland, and we all know the fatherland.
Yeah.
And it's not just Russia and Germany, it's every country. But how many countries refer... Like, where do you get that...
Well, those are the only two countries you hear about it, really.
No, dude,
That
the
is
motherland is Greece. We talk about Greece as being the motherland.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Japan is the fatherland.
Well, Greece is definitely the motherland.
Greece is
like, we
definitely-
call her the mother. Like,
Yeah.
that's our mother.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it? I seriously, I want to know. I thought maybe you guys would know because you're all up in arms with that sort of shit.
Oh, what do you in what way?
Well, other than the fact that you use these phrases like incessantly.
I never say fatherland. I think it's the first time I've said it.
You know your political social structures regarding military history and such.
Well, fatherland came more into like.
I'm picturing propaganda Germany in 1937.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
What does it actually bring up? Like,
Well, I just looked up Father Time.
no. Okay, what does it say about Father
Fatherland.
Time?
It's just some shabby dude in a cloak. And it came from, like, ancient Rome.
Father Time came from Rome.
Like, that's basically, like, I said, why is it called Father Time? And it came up with, like, Father Time's image comes from ancient Roman god of time, Saturn.
Okay, hang on. Here
And
we
for
go.
us, it's Kronos.
All right,
Kronos.
Yeah, Kronos. Time.
All right, it says here, fatherland is the nation of one's fathers, forefathers, or ancestors. The ancient Greek patris,
Yeah.
fatherland, led to patrios,
Patron.
patrios, of our fathers, and thence to the Latin patriota, and Old French patriote, meaning compatriot. From these, the English word patriotism is derived.
Also
Okay.
came from the Greeks.
Yeah. All right.
But that's-
See,
so
motherland.
Maybe it's got to do with where your parents are from. So if your mother is from Greece, you'd call it motherland, whereas if your dad is from...
Both my parents are from...
Okay, so here, this is the thing. Motherland refers to a mother country,
Why
i.e.
is Germany?
the place of one's birth and the place of one's ancestors, the place of origin of an ethnic group, or a metropolitan contrast to its colonies. People often refer to Mother Russia as a personification of the Russian nation. Within the British Empire, many natives in the colonies came to think of Britain as the mother country of one large nation. India is often personified as Bharat Mata, Mother India. The French commonly refer to France as La Mère Patrie, which is Hispanic Americans. Filipinos commonly refer to Spain as La Madre Patria. So that's motherland, and then fatherland is the nation of one's father or forefathers. It can be viewed as a nationalist concept insofar as it relates to nations. The term fatherland, Vaterland, is used throughout German-speaking Europe as well as in Dutch. So
And something
in
similar.
Netherlands, la la la.
Yeah.
Because with us, my cousins, like, when I ask them how they are, they're like, they call it Mana Elada.
Yeah,
Mana Elada. Which is like
Mother Grace.
Mother Grace.
What was the question that you looked up? Was it why Germany's called fatherland?
I just went to Wikipedia and checked both
This one
words.
here says why Germany's called fatherland, because in German, like you said, Vaterland is what would be called motherland in English. the country of origin on the land where one's ancestors resided. The term motherland, has another meaning in German where it refers to something like a country that is responsible for another, usually smaller country.
Okay, so they had to differentiate.
So like fatherland is the original country. So it'd be like Greece to Cyprus.
Yeah.
Or
Germany to Austria.
Germany to Austria.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it says, why is a country, where was it? What is the difference between mother and fatherland? It says there's three answers. The main difference in English is what, all terms referring to one's native land or country of origin, motherland and fatherland, also have the connotation of the land of one's ancestors. So it's got to do with like that.
Okay.
Ancestors and like...
basically the same shit.
Yeah.
But Germans just wanted to do it differently. In a way.
Because fatherland's supposed to be, like you said, the original land.
Yeah.
So they were trying to say that Germany was the original land, trying to get the Aryan race going. All the other countries are inferior, so they would be classified as the motherland, so therefore fatherland is the original one.
It's superior.
It's superior. And motherland would be like the secondary.
In a sense of patriarchy and...
Yeah, it would be like along the lines of a client state.
Okay.
The client state would be like Greece being a client state to Turkey.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Cyprus being a client state to Turkey.
See, like, I actually asked this question when I was in Greece because there's a song called Mane Lava and all this kind of stuff, and I said, "What does it mean?" To my uncle, what does it mean to you? He goes, because it's like a female gave birth to Greece. That kind of it's a female that gave life. A female gives life.
It's like the mothership. Where's the mothership come from?
It's not the fathership.
Yeah.
Fathership just sounds like a pedophile boat. You know what I mean? Let's be real here. Come on to the fathership.
The daddy boat.
The daddy boat. Yeah.
No, but why do we always christen boats with female names?
That's right.
No, I'm being honest.
It's true.
When you christen a boat with a bottle of Shams,
I christen needs to be Janice.
I christen the No, why is that?
And then females are not allowed on. Do you know that?
No, what?
That on, they've got like a really weird kind of like on fishing boats and stuff.
Superstition.
They don't allow women on there.
Yeah,
it's like because women are a curse.
Oh,
they say it's read into that. It's for real, man.
What?
Yeah, dude. They don't like allowing women, like back in the day as well, they don't like allowing women on boats and ships because they were a curse. They think that something would happen to them, the ship, because if a woman was on board. I saw a documentary on it. It was fucking strange.
Here's some boat naming history, yeah? Boats are historically named after women, although it has always been a bit of a mystery as to why this tradition exists. This is just Catamaran Guru. Literally Catamaran Guru.
Yeah, I just found the same one.
Yeah. Each civilization has its own traditions regarding naming boats, but why they're most often feminine names. While it is not known exactly why ships are named after female figures, there are two prominent theories. One hypothesizes that boats were named after goddesses and other mythical figures, and later shifted to popular feminine names as recognition of gods and goddesses faded. And the second major theory focuses on the basis of European languages. A number of languages, such as German and French, have a complex system of gender involving grammatical terms, in which objects are assigned specific masculine and feminine traits. Ye Olde English also use this system of naming, with many inanimate objects, such as boats, referred to in the feminine form. So as the English language changed and evolved, the tradition of using this feminine form for ship names continued and is still present today.
Interesting.
Dead set. Dude, selecting these are significance of naming a boat, yeah? Extensive, precise ceremony that most captains follow to ward off any bad luck. Again, there you go, full circle with Columbus landing in the Americas and picking up smallpox and syphilis. Had a good time doing it, though. Man. Dude, the production cell for the second part would be Columbus in a dinghy with like a GPS.
Man, you've got to have Father Time choking Trump.
Just have it in the background.
Father Time, man.
Hang on. Okay, ships are not necessarily... Oh, here we go. Naming a fishing vessel Diana, for example, might be done in the hopes of a good catch, as Diana is considered to be the huntress of popular folklore. Feminine name is always selected with the idea of safety, protection. The sea will mother and protect the vessel, blah, blah, blah. Ships are not necessarily named after women, because men at sea need to be close to a feminine figure.
That's why women aren't on the ships.
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
not necessarily named after women because they need to be.
It's got to do anything to tie in with like your Greek. Is it the Odyssey?
Jason,
The one with the sirens and the boat.
Argonauts.
The Argonauts.
Yeah, it's Jason.
got something to. Oh, it is that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got something to tie in with that. Maybe.
What do you mean? Oh, as in the whole
Because you
thing?
had the sirens that were trying to,
They're luring the
beguile
men.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if that's got anything to do with it?
No idea. But it says here, complex ceremony must be followed to assure that no bad luck befalls the ship.
They're very superstitious, aren't they? Like
Oh, the sailors.
sailors.
Oh,
yeah.
they're fried.
Well, because it's the open to the elements. Yeah.
That goes back to Christ, Columbus going across the ocean. Yeah, they didn't know what we know now. They thought there were monsters at the edge of the earth, man. They're literally going into the unknown.
Yeah.
There are no more frontiers, man. The last frontier, well, there are frontiers. That's a lie. You've got space, but we're limited with it by technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way we're going to get any further than we are now for a long time. But dude, SpaceX can start sending people up there. Branson and Musk can start creating a Kentucky tour of space, but they're not going to get far.
Oh, they can try and send as many people as they want to Mars, but until they actually learn to terraform stuff,
Yeah.
which is like the science behind that is like
No.
ludicrous speed, and that like who knows how many
This is going to
hundreds of years they are before they even getting close to discovering that type of science.
This will branch off into a whole other conversation, so we won't go into it, but I'll just mention it. Maybe that's what maybe that's why we're literally watching, Olympian track and field stars transform their genders overnight. Maybe that's why they're looking at, genetically modifying their babies before they're born to weed out diseases and give them blue eyes. Because there are no frontiers left. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it could be.
We've run out, man cannot set out just to discover a new nation. No, do you understand what I'm saying?
Maybe we need a good old-fashioned Caesar or Alexander to just...
I'm your man.
Duke Leverage just comes up out of prominence. And from the south. Through the ashes was created.
I'll be a new breed of Viking, mate.
No, I'm just saying. Think about it. Maybe that's why we're so obsessed now.
It's possible, but I see that the way people nowadays are probably the most. There's studies, I don't say crap just because I think it or whatever. There's studies out there, all right?
So where are you going, man? I want to see proof. You're full of it. I've known you since we were 5. You're full of it, man. You're full of it, man.
I need proof,
Full of shit,
I need
man.
proof. There's studies that they reckon people are more miserable now than they've ever been in human history.
Yeah, man.
all right?
No, that's
true.
I'm not denying that.
Yeah, but you don't need studies for that.
No, but just for people. But I'm just saying, this guy's just talking out of his ass. Well, there's proof out there. You want it, go look for it. I can't be stuff citing it, but there is.
Yeah.
And what do people do when they're miserable? What we were talking about before,
Drugs.
Escapism.
Yeah.
So everything we have at our hands now is a form of escapism.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because there might be some truth to that about because there's no frontiers, but everybody is on all this stuff because they don't want to deal with real life.
There might not be any frontiers, but
Space. Space is the last frontier.
but people as individuals, how much of the world has someone seen?
Exactly.
You can create your own, journey. So you can travel, climb mountains that no one's ever seen before, but individually. And you can think, man, I conquered this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But people are just too lazy these days.
I've got a mate that got married at 22, all right? And I was sitting down with you. I remember, won't forget, it was at work one day, and we just sitting down, went to Hungry Jack's, made it from work, and this guy was sitting down eating, and he was getting married. Oh, yeah, congrats, all that. He's like, yeah, I've done everything I wanted to do. Like 22.
What, 22?
Yeah.
What did you do? Finish high school?
Had never been overseas.
Girl, Gertie.
had never.
I'm a man.
Had never been overseas, not even once in his life. Had travelled, I think, to 2 states in Australia.
Dude.
And I was like, are you serious?
No.
But
that's the form. Some people are like...
But some people are happy with that.
Yeah,
Is he happy with that? Was he happy?
He's gone overseas a buttload of times now since he got married.
Yeah.
The guy's happily married, he's got 2 kids.
But to make that comment at 22?
Oh, no, he didn't know what he was talking
Like-
about. No. I've got people, my other friends, go to this pizza place. It's the best pizza. It's exactly like the pizza they make in Italy.
Have you been to Italy?
Have you been to Italy? No. Well, how the freak do you know?
How do they...
I
How do
had...
you know? Just because it's thin.
Mate, I had a quattro gorgonzola pizza in Florence. Now come back and talk to me
Exactly.
about these shit cunt pizza places around
Exactly.
here. I died.
The best pizza I've ever had in my life.
But individually.
From where pizza comes from. Naples.
Naples.
And it was just a basic margarita, and I died.
Yeah.
I had to change my pants.
Just exploded. so just carry a pair of pants around with you in Italy.
Yeah, exactly. It was the best day. We were in Naples. Went to
That isn't her, is it? Naples.
Naples. I can't do it. Dude, Aurora
got
did it, yeah, she did it on the last episode, man. Like, it was insane. I still laugh about that. I rewound that 100 times.
Naples.
Dude, I've got it. Hang on.
It was the best day. Check this. All right, went to Pompeii. All right. Then went to get this pizza, and then went down to the deli and I bought mortadella the size of this circle. This is fed income, man. It was like 2 meters long, and it's the size of that circle.
Me and Ren had some of the freshest stuff in Italy, man. Like legit, like
Yeah.
just the cheeses and just the.
They try to do it here, but it's just no
not the same.
comparison. No,
It's not the same. It's-
You can't get the same quality. It's like the air, the water. It's just completely different.
Oh, dude, it was just like me being a smoker. We were in like just the air.
Yeah.
It was just different. It was just fucking different.
Sorry, man. I found it. Dude, we were sitting there at an Italian restaurant in Mykonos, and I was cracking it because Mykonos is overrun with Italians, yeah? And arrogant Italians, like ridiculous tourist-mode Italians.
Like
I was
from Napoli.
Yeah, Napoli. So...
Naples.
Just spot on.
Sorry, Dubai. You were going to Dubai?
No, I just went to Dubai, or because the flight we wanted to go on, there was a stop off, and let's make the most of it. Like, we'll stay for 2 days, 2 nights, 2 days, 2 nights, and we stayed there, and we didn't see the whole place, but from what we experienced within 2 days, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I spent 10 days there, man.
It was unreal.
Yeah, before I went to the Middle East, as in Middle East,
Yeah.
I spent 10 days there, and it's a totally different place, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's
Dude, I know my
They're booze.
halloumi. I know my halloumi.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And for ages, one of the best halloumi dishes I ever had was at Squire's Loft out in St Kilda.
Albert Road.
The Albert Road one, yeah. Brilliant halloumi. I was there in the summertime. I went with a mate, got our beers, sat down for some appetizers, got like the sausage and all this shit, and then I got the halloumi with like a nectarine sort of nectarine sort of apricot marinade, and I cried. I thought, man, this is sick. But the best halloumi I ever had was in Turkey, where the shit is made. Yeah. Turkey, Cyprus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, where was I? In Izmir, down south. Izmir is a lot like Athens, very Mediterranean. Sitting down at a tavern, they brought out this big platter with like the meats, the cheeses, all that sort of shit. The halloumi comes out. It's just plain, man.
Yeah.
I literally just took a bite and I cried, man. Yeah. I literally was sitting there staring at the cheese.
Freshness of it would have been just amazing.
There's a reason why when you go to the deli, the Parma prosciutto is $90 a kilo.
Dude, I said the same thing to
cold
Malaka.
cuts, mate.
There's a reason why they cost that much.
Cold cuts, you know who you're talking to.
The king of cold cuts.
All right? Dude, I said it to Malaka the other day. I was buying porchetta in the deli in Oakley. Yeah. What does that cost per kilo, man?
Usually $1 a slice, isn't it?
It's $22 to $28 a kilo.
On average, yeah.
It works out to like $80 to $1.10 a slice.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I said it to Malaka, man. I go, dude, think about it. This shit is worth $22 to $28 a kilo. What is this Virginia ham that goes on special for $2.80 at Safeway? You're telling me there isn't going to be a difference between Virginia ham for $2.80 a slice, a kilo, to porchetta, which is worth $1 a slice?
Yeah.
Think about it. It's like drinking Woodstocks or Kentucky Riders or cheap piss, and then drinking like a fine cognac or a single malt scotch.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
You drink single malt scotch, you could drink it all night, man. You're not going to wake up with a hangover. You're not going to wake up feeling like death. Yeah. You drink a Kentucky Rider, dude. You're literally going to be holding your stomach before you even finish the can off, man. Mm-hmm. But that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity. Idiots. Uneducated. Anyway. All right, I say we wrap it. It's late. I've been up since 3, and we're nearly at 10.
And I need to go to Coles. I need to go buy some milk.
Milk. I bought that today. Dude,
I'm hooked on A2. I like A2.
I've been using it for how many years?
I know, but
You're late to the party.
No.
What's the difference
I've been
between
using it
A1
for a
and
while
A2?
now.
A1 and A2.
Yeah, what's the difference?
A2 has all the protein.
Yeah, and it's milked from the back of the.
Yeah, basically, they figured out, dude, I'm dumbing it down because I remember looking into this.
Yeah.
You don't stat it.
It says it on the bottle. It actually shows it on the
time
bottle.
to read the bottle.
See, you just want small, compressed, compact information.
So
to digest.
A1 is from the front of the cow, A2 is from the back of the cow.
No, basically what it is
The udder's at the back of the cow. It's on
can you stop-
It's on the three. It's
Stop
on the
selling him lies.
It's on the front.
He's lying.
It's on the front. Too.
No, dude, they basically found a protein in a cow originally that was A2, which was meant to be what we were meant to have, but then they got interbred with other cows, and just out of convenience and cheapness and availability.
So it's got more proteins than A1.
It's got the right proteins and shit that we're meant to be drinking, as opposed to what we're meant
So why don't they just turn it over all onto A2 and just
because
call
it
it?
costs.
Or is it more expensive?
Availability.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much more is it?
I don't know.
Oh, look.
Well, look, A2, the A2 milk
about
that I buy,
$4, man,
$4
more.
$5. Well,
Does every brand do it, or just so specific?
No,
ones?
you can get
Or is it
A2.
like a gourmet?
But these guys are smart because they actually market it as A2.
Yeah, no.
It's called A2.
A2 proteins
Yeah.
exist in other milk, but A2, the company, only.
okay.
Yeah, that's the name of the company.
Yeah.
As in, that's
A2.
all we sell. A2 proper milk. Dude, the A2 billboards. This is going on for years. They are seriously a white nationalist.
Yeah.
Every billboard.
Have you seen it? The blonde and the.
Dude, it's a blonde kid.
Yeah.
Or a blonde woman with blue eyes.
And they've always, and with the milk mustache.
That's not a joke, dude. I took a photo.
Dude,
I put it up on social
wait.
media like 2 years ago.
And you said it. You actually said it.
I was driving down Princess Highway at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I literally pulled a handbrake. I'm like, dude, there's that kid from the Aryan faction, man. Like, I don't get it. You do a Google search for A2 milk, and every single
it's
face.
all like this.
Okay.
Dude, they are Aryans, man. I'm telling you.
So why are you buying their milk then?
It tastes delicious.
Until it's confirmed.
Yeah, the white nationalists know how to make good milk.
Until I see, Mecca Hitler or something come out.
Have you tried looking it up to see if they
Dude, I swear to God, it's a fact.
Hey, look, I don't
Until
care,
it comes
man.
out,
They make good milk.
But think about it, yeah? A2 milk, 2 litres, it's like $4.80 or something.
something like that,
You're going to break a $5 note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safeway Woolies milk, $1 milk.
Who buys that?
A lot of people
do.
I thought people were boycotting it still.
Nah, it's all. It's blown over. It was a
still
phase.
there. It's
it
a
was a
phase.
fad.
But you can buy
The
milk.
farmers were killing themselves.
Yeah. You can buy milk as cheap as $1, $2 milk.
but that's
Like,
not
I'm just
milk.
saying, how much crap could be in it if the Primo shit is $5 and this is $2?
You get Paul
Including
Smarter
the
White.
carton.
The Paul
Yeah, but
Smarter
the one
White
that are
milk.
$1, $2, they're that way just because they're trying to market it cheaper. It's not like that stuff's any worse. It's just we're trying to sell it to you.
No, you can taste the difference though with that.
Dude, you can taste it because
Yeah.
it's watery. There's less cream in
This
it.
one's
It's
thicker.
thick.
It's nice.
It's thick milk.
It's
There's
good,
a big
good glass
difference.
of milk, man.
Dude, that whole thing with the
Yeah.
farmers, that's another thing about the droughts and the boycotts, but we'll leave it. I was going to do a solo podcast on it just because it fucking irritated me, but I'll leave it. Maybe I'll do it later on in the week. I don't know. Okay,
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Where have you been? Actually,
to see ya.
when did we...
I've been house what's that show called?
House rules.
Block. I've been,
the block.
I've been the blocking my. Yeah, I've been the blocking. Yeah.
Nah, good to see you, man. I haven't seen you. in a
Yeah.
while.
Actually, I'll be honest. I saw him, was it last week when we had a quick coffee? I
Yeah,
came and grabbed
last
you.
week, yeah.
I was running around.
Quick espresso. I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Actually, I've only seen both of you for a quick coffee for like 40 minutes and I've booted.
He was freaking out about parking in a half an hour spot
Where?
In Oaks.
when we went to go park. Remember?
Oh,
we went for the
after the
coffee.
ca-
Yeah.
yeah.
And he spent more time worrying like where to park with his half an hour and an hour than the extra time he spent in the cafe.
Yeah, because this schmuck says I'll be fine. I'm the one that always
No
cops
one
the
ever
ticket.
goes there.
They're vultures, mate. They're fucking
You know where? On
vultures.
Centre Road, right near Mackie Road, that strip of shops.
Oh.
Yeah, forget it. My car.
dude.
I used to do the newsagents there, all right? And that guy, like, I used to spend hours in there. No one ever came past.
Yeah, that's
He asked
you.
me, yeah, well, if I'm with
Well,
you, you're
that's-
right.
What do you want to tell you?
I'm your rabbit's foot.
Piss off. Rabbit's foot.
Okay, make me
You're
some
the
money.
hole that I'd get my ankle stuck in and like, you know. It's just,
Like, you're right.
Damn it,
Like, you're right. You need help. Oh, maybe just go over there. All right. Next thing you know, car comes past.
yeah, man. All right, okay, running time. What are we doing?
I'll tell you what.
Seriously.
2:49.
And 2:35.
2:33:22.
Ooh.
It's pretty spot on.
Not bad, Nico.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's 10 to
Close.
10. We did start at like 7-ish.
Just after 7, and we took a little break.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've got to edit it. Dude, thank God I'm not working tomorrow, because next edits are going to be coming up at 3, 4 in the morning, man. I can't be fucked. All right. Yeah, like, share, follow, blah, blah, bling, blah, blah. What do we need? I keep forgetting. I was running out of the house late today, and I didn't know. Is there something I keep forgetting to bring in?
Yeah, just your fines.
No, yeah, that's right. I don't know, I keep forgetting.
We're going to burn it up next week.
All right, that's fine. All right, cool. Like, share, follow, blah, blah, hit it.
You leverage out.